Hello everyone, I have been seeing these spinner wheel chooses how many hours I read for a week challenges going around, so I decided to try one myself. So come along with me as I read for however many hours the spinner wheel chooses for a whole 5 days. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. I have been seeing this thing around. It's basically where for a whole week you let a random number generator choose how many hours you read for the day. I'm gonna do 5 days. We're gonna do like a normal work week, 5 days. My previous video was my physical TBR video and I found out I have 66 books that I have on my physical TBR that I have not read yet. And I also have some books on my non-physical TBR, like on my Kindle that I downloaded. It's a lot of books. So I decided that I'm going to try this challenge where for a whole 5 days, I'm gonna let a random number wheel decide how many hours that I read in a day. I'm kind of scared, but I'm excited because I know that I'm gonna get through a lot of my TBR and that's really what I'm going to try. So this is gonna be day one. I chose this ahaslides.com for my random number wheel and it is kind of late in the day. It's 3:17, so I hope you get a small number, but I just did from 1 to 7. I'm so nervous. Why am I so nervous? We got 1 hour for our day one. I can do that. I'm probably gonna read more than that, but we are going to start with 1 hour. That is amazing because I have a lot of stuff to do today. So yeah, let's go start our 1 hour reading. My iPad and it just went off. I figured I would chat to you a little bit about where I'm at because I kind of just jumped right into this. So I am in the middle of a couple books. First is Forever and Ever by Lucy Score. I ended on chapter 41, page 407. I'm liking this book so far. I started in my last vlog, my Mackinac Island reading vlog, because this takes place on Mackinac Island. It's about Remy and Brick and it's sort of like a right person, wrong time, all the time type thing. And there's also like a little mystery element to it. So I kind of liked that part for sure. Also my ear's on, so I'm sorry if it's loud. That is this book. I mean, it's okay. I'm just kind of reading it to get done with it and not like obsessed with it. I'm thinking maybe like a 3.5 to 4-star rating, depending on how it ends. 1 hour was all that we had to read today, which really is not bad at all. I think I am still gonna read just a little bit more because 1 hour was just so quick and I have some time now. But yeah, that is all from me today and I will see you tomorrow. Good morning, welcome to day 2. It is 9:52 in the morning and I decided I would get a jump start on figuring out how many hours we're gonna read today. Yesterday was only 1 hour, which really was not bad at all, and I definitely read past that 1 hour because I actually finished Forever and Ever by Lucy Score. So that was a feat. This book is like 560 pages. I think I gave it like 3.75 to 4 stars. I have to sit with it a little bit more because if I rate things right away, I'm like, oh my god, that was so good, and then rate it super high automatically. But I'm gonna wait a little bit and see if my rating changed. But right now it's sitting at like a 3.75, 4 stars. Lucy's score, I've only read a couple of her books, but I already know her pattern. She always writes manic pixie dream girls. There's usually this life or death situation happening at the end where the girl has to develop enough courage to stand up for herself, where the guy was always like the one that was her like protector throughout the entire book. I did like Remy and Brick's relationship. Remy and Brick have always sort of been in each other's lives, but there is an age difference. Brick has sort of always restrained himself from Remy because of several reasons. And then she comes back to Mackinac Island, which is where this takes place, because she's in trouble in the city where she moved to, and it's like a mystery going on after the love story already is in the process. Like, it's a slow burn up until maybe like here, right when the romance picks up. The mystery of why Remy was in so much trouble is still happening. So that was kind of a cool element. I do think that the mystery got wrapped up in a couple of chapters and it was like an entire book build up, so I don't know how I feel about that one. That was Forever and Ever. I just went to go pick out my new book from my TBR shelf. Since we just read a romance, I figured I would pick up a fantasy-ish type book. I'm not sure this is exactly fantasy, supernatural-ish, I think. This is The Atlas 6 by Olive E. Blake. There are these 6 magicians, and they are chosen, I think, basically to participate in basically like a Hunger Games type situation to get into this super secret Alexandrian society. And this takes the point of views of all 6 of the Atlas 6, and just them going through that process is all that I've gathered right now. This has a second book either out right now or coming out. These words are so small. It is 373 pages. This was on my fall TBR for September, and I feel like it definitely gives the fall vibes. So I'm pretty excited to get into it. I heard so much about this, and yeah. Oh, we have to do our hourly thing. I completely forgot what we were doing. Let me start our screen record and see what we are going to get for day 2. I'm anticipating a large number since we got lucky yesterday with only 1 hour. Oh my goodness. So we went from 1 to 7 hours. I don't have a crazy amount of things to do. I have something to do right in the middle of the day, which throws me off because I prefer to have either something to do in the morning and then relax the rest of the day, or I prefer to have something to do at night and then relax before that. Just because like the middle of the day when I have to leave and just do a few things, it throws me off. 10 o'clock, so I have to leave in about like an hour and a half, so maybe we'll get to read for at least an hour because I have to, like, you know, eat and make coffee and everything too. So yeah, 7 hours on the clock. Let's go. Okay, even just starting this book, there are a lot of large words and I have to really focus to even get through the beginning, the prologue. It is 6:44, so I figured I would have a little check-in point. We are 3 hours and 23 minutes away from 7 hours. Seeing as we're about like halfway there, I figured I would check in a little bit. I have mainly been reading The Atlas 6. I'm on page 115, and look how cool all these little part breaks are. After every one of these like big chapters, like this is space, number 4, they have like a character drawing. Like this is the next one, and I don't know quite who these people are supposed to be, but they're obviously one of the Atlas 6. that we are now very well acquainted with in this story. We're about this much of the way through, maybe like a third. This book is taking me a lot longer to get through than I thought it would. Not only are the words just so small on each page, and the pages are big, but there's a lot of information on each page, especially in the beginning, and we're kind of still in the beginning, where you're sort of just acquainting yourself with the Atlas 6 and the magic system in this world and everything like that. In this world, there are a bunch of magical specialties. There's a physicist that deals with physical laws. There's an illusionist that deals with being able to see through like glamours or illusions, and there's a naturalist that can help make plants grow and everything like that. So the Atlas 6 are each one of those. They just got to the Alexandrian Library and are tasked with protecting it, and we just had a bit of an action sequence. It's good. I like it a lot. It's just gonna take a little bit to get through because I'm gonna have to get used to the magic system, and it just took a little bit to get through in the beginning because it was a lot of information all at once about all these 6 main characters. And what I've been doing is wearing my headphones and putting on like a fantasy ambiance YouTube video because it just adds so much to the reading experience. Oh, I also read one chapter of another book that I'm reading on Libby, which is a free library app. It's called One of Us Is Back. It's part of the One of Us Lying trilogy. It just came out like maybe last month or a couple weeks ago. Let's just see if we can get through the rest of this. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 3. I did not finish my 7 hours yesterday. I know. But I had 2 hours and 16 minutes and 36 seconds left from yesterday. I decided that I'm just gonna roll it over into today, just add it on to our hours because I don't want to fail. I know it's like not exactly how much I read yesterday, but I also read more than I'm supposed to read the day before that. So you know what? I'm just gonna roll it over. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's spin to see what we get today. I feel like it's gonna be another big number, and it's kind of sad because I have to add on 2 hours. I hope this is good. Yeah, 5. So we have to add on our 2 hours, 16 minutes, 36 seconds onto 5 hours. So we're gonna go in here and do 7 hours, 16 minutes, and 36 seconds. And we're gonna start it up. I'm still gonna be reading more about the 6. I am maybe like halfway through, I would say, almost halfway through. All the concepts they're trying to discover in here are just so philosophical and need a lot of brain power. So I'm on page 185. And we'll see if I can finally finish this book today with our several hours. Let's get to reading. gosh, the lighting is so bad. I'm about to go to sleep, but I still have 48 minutes and 11 seconds left for today. With the overlap, ended up being a little over 7 hours of reading. I did just finish The Atlas 6 though. I feel like I need time to process this book before talking about it because just so much happened. But it was definitely very clever and very complex at the same time. Not only is it like dark academia with like a mystery and whole new magic system really, but she takes real laws of like physics and relativity and like life and like explains them in this book, and it's like I had to like reread several pages because I just did not understand what she was saying. I think I might just read One of Us Is Back just until I fall asleep. Let's go do that and I will update you tomorrow. Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to day 4. I did end up finishing my 7-ish hours yesterday because there was rollover. There is no rollover for day 4. First, I wanted to talk about The Atlas 6 in the morning now that I am more awake. After thinking about it for a little bit more, I am going to give this book 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed the whole concept of it. I enjoyed the story behind it. I enjoyed all the different characters. They were all very distinct characters with very distinct personalities, and the little twist that was at the end was great. I kind of skipped ahead like a little bit, so I like a little bit got a spoiler for myself for the final twist at the end. The whole explanation surrounding it at the end was very cool. I would definitely recommend this if you like that like dark academia, realistic fantasy element to it. Like they're magicians that do magic. The way that the magic system is described isn't just like, oh, he's a fairy so he flicks his hand and can do whatever. They all have very specific specialties. The way that they explain the principles behind their specific magical ability is very like philosophical, scientific-ish. I don't know that much about philosophy and science, so really she could have told me anything and I would have believed it. If you do want to know more about that, then I think that you would really enjoy this book because it's just the way that it describes everything is very interesting and adds a lot of that sort of science-y philosophy element. The next book that I started reading called One of Us Is Back, part of the One of Us Is Lying trilogy. This is the 3rd book. One of Us Is Back. It just came out a little bit ago. Only like maybe like 4 to 5 chapters in. I'm really liking it. It's a young adult like thriller mystery type series. She does a good job at like reintroducing you to the characters and summarizing what happened in the past few books because it's been a little bit since I read them, so I'm glad that she did that. And of course there's another mystery that is sweeping over Bayview and I'm really liking it. It's very fast paced. Young adult books usually are and easy to understand. We are now going to go on our spinner wheel, see how many hours we are reading today. Here we go, let's go. I'm hoping it's like less of one because I have 1 to 7 on here. I'm hoping it's a lower one because we've read a lot the past 2 days. It's 5 hours. You know what? That's not terrible. 5 hours isn't terrible. It just sounds like so long. The past 2 days we read like 7 hours, but the first day we got a break and we only read 1 hour. So we're making up for it now for day 4. But day 4 we're doing 5 hours. So we are going to put that on the clock and there we go. I just stopped that at 4:59. But we have 5 hours on the clock and I think I am gonna just read more of the One of Us Is Back because I am really enjoying it. It's sort of picking up. It starts in like chapter 3. So it definitely starts very early on, which is nice. You don't have to wait too long to get into the story. All right. We're gonna see how much I can read straight through. Okay, so apparently my iPad died. So while that's charging, we're just gonna read it on my phone. Welcome to our last day to day 5. So I did not finish my reading yesterday. So, last day, but we are going to have to add on 2 hours and 42 minutes on to our total hours read today. And we are gonna finish it because I have nothing to do today, so I need to finish this. I just filmed this on a bad week where I thought I had nothing to do, but I had a lot of things to do. So things just got in the way. I am about halfway through One of Us is Back, the 3rd book in the One of Us is Lying trilogy. It's very fast paced, as I thought. It definitely reads like a young adult book, but that's good because it lets you like understand everything that's going on. There is a new mystery happening in Bayview. It starts right off where someone is missing. There's definitely like a few little steps that are scary and it gets scarier, scarier, scarier. And then there's gonna be this like big thing at the end of the book. Now we are going to be spinning our wheel for the last time. I'm okay if there's gonna be a big number, but I prefer a smaller number. We've been reading a lot, and I think in general I probably read like 2 or 3 hours a day, just like normally. So like 5, 6, 7 hours is a stretch for me. We're gonna spin it and see what we get. I have my phone right here. One! I said that so odd, but we only got 1 hour to read for today, if you saw that. We're just gonna set our timer to 3 hours, 42 minutes, and 41 seconds. This is the best possible outcome because like I said, I usually read like 3 hours a day. I kind of wish it was a little bit longer now, but it's fine. Definitely gonna finish One of Us is Back and maybe start a new book and let you know how that goes. Outside reading for right now. Starting a new book. I will explain more when I get home. The lighting here may be less than ideal, but it is 9 o'clock at night right now. So we're just gonna go with it. Finally finished our random number wheel chooses my reads for a whole week challenge. So the first book that we read was Forever and Ever. I think I gave this like 4.5 stars. It was cute, cute little Lucy score book. Same setup as her usual books. It was fun that it was set in that kind of guy, which is where I went. Then we read The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I'm still thinking about some of the things in this book because it's just so scientific and philosophical, but I think it's my first dark academia book and I really loved it. So I'm definitely gonna read more like dark academia vibe books. But I do highly recommend this. Just know that the words are small, the pages are big, and it contains a lot of like more sciencey information that you have to sort of pay attention to understand what the magicians are doing. This is a good book. We read an ebook, One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I did just finish this book today. It was really good. It was just a very good young adult mystery. It is the end. It is the end of the trilogy. I think for like a young adult mystery book, it was good. I gave it like 4-ish stars. We went through 3 point of views. If you know, Addie, Phoebe, and Nate were the 3 point of views. And then we got some flashbacks. And it was really just... I think he's gonna scratch. I knew it. Sort of expanded more on the whole Jake story from the very first book. I think that it did go along with the overall story very well. 4 stars. I didn't guess it was gonna happen, but it was cool how it all kind of came together. It was a young adult book, so it was very fast-paced, easy to follow. So definitely if you like The One of Us Is Lying, I recommend it. If you read the other 2 books, I think it was good. It explained a little bit more, which I kind of liked. Those were the 3 books we finished, and then we had just started The Mistake by Elle Kennedy. This is the 2nd book in the Off-Campus series. I'm on page 40. So this is nice for a little breather. It's like okay so far. I'm not loving the way it's starting. It's definitely very reminiscent of college though. It's a college hockey romance. So like it really gets you in that college mindset. At least this book does, which is kind of fun for fall coming up. Not far enough along to have like too much of an opinion on it, but it's quick. It's going quickly. I think I've read around 19 hours in the past 5 days, which sounds like a lot to me. 19 hours in the past 5 days does sound like a lot to me, considering that I usually read like 2 or 3 hours a day. So I think we did pretty good. This challenge was definitely hard, but it did show me that there are a lot of opportunities to be reading instead of like scrolling on your phone or something like that. There are a lot of times when I could just pull out my book and read a few pages throughout my day, and it has like re-amped me up for this fall reading. And I have so many exciting fall video ideas and fall books that I want to read. So now that we're done with this challenge, we're going to move into those. This is a good kickstart to all the reading that I want to do in fall. That is the end of this video. I think we did pretty good reading our 3.5 books. It was fun. I might do this again. It definitely was hard at sometimes. So I do like reading at my own pace for the next week at least. So yes, that is all from me today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm assuming this is going to be a very long video, so if you stayed until this point, thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.